What's up guys, new video here, and it is time for parts to start rolling in. Now, when you're doing a new build like this, you gotta take your time and go over a huge list of stuff on what to order. So what I do, I go to my notes and I make a checklist of each and every part, each and every task I have to do to get this thing done. I separate it all in a detailed way to make sure everything gets done and nothing gets forgotten. With that being said, there's a lot of parts coming in now and I'm getting really excited. So we have some parts here, some are still on the way, some are at my parents' house, some are kind of over the place, but a lot of good ones are here right now and I'm really excited. So, okay, so new parts. First, we have a lot of Toyota OEM gaskets and stuff like that for the new engine. We have valve cover gaskets, we have exhaust manifold gaskets, we have OEM timing belt, rear main seal, oil strainer gasket, water pump gasket, all that kind of stuff. Oh wait, I have a head gasket too. It's in there somewhere, it's safe. But yeah, so head gaskets in there. All the OEM gaskets for Toyota are very good and you don't need to upgrade them. OEM gaskets are always good for any kind of 2J, 1J, no matter what scale. Obviously, if you're doing like 1,000 horsepower or other stuff like that, you can upgrade some gaskets, but like OEM gaskets are like the best ever, and that's what I recommend everybody doing in JZ. So, a lot of OEM stuff, everything OEM really. I have a new turbo heat blanket here. I actually bought this exact one an event before the fire and it literally got destroyed. So here it is, the burnt and nasty Torque Solution turbo blanket right here. Literally had it for one event and then the fire happened and it got kind of destroyed. So there's no saving this. It needs to go in the trash and that's why I got a brand new one. So that's a good feeling for me. There's that, and we have a new 3.5-inch vibrant clamp here for my exhaust, and this looks nice and fresh and brand new, and that's what I want. So that's always important for me. And then we have a bunch of vibrant assortment parts right here. We have AN fittings, we have MPT fittings, we have adapters, we have line, we got all that kind of stuff, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. But then we have this Powerhouse Racing water pump pulley. Thanks to Freddie for giving me this. It's actually really freaking expensive, so thank you, Freddie, for that. And up next, we have a brand new OEM Toyota water pump. So very excited about this. My other water pump is very old and probably worn out, and it's good to spend, you know, the only like, I think it's $140 for the water pump, and a nice and brand new silver, and it's brand new to have a good life on the JZ. So on mine this is plugged, and on mine this is plugged, so I have to plug that, which is no big deal. But yeah, I'm really excited about that as well. All brand new OEM parts are always good for JZs or any well, any certain application, but yeah, that's sick. Oh, and these are my catch can lines. My other ones got burnt in the fire, so I brought the old ones to the shop and made new AN lines to match the exact old ones. Now they're brand new AN lines, brand new heat wrap, ready to go for the catch can when the engine's done, and they'll be ready to be slapped in there. So now you've seen all those parts, I actually got a very important, very cool part that is like crucial for this new build. As you guys know, with a lot of drifting and engines and stuff like that, there's a lot of oil sloshing and a lot of oil pressure that gets lost, and that causes a lot of these engines to detonate and explode and throw rods at the block and stuff like that, or spin bearings or any kind of that stuff. I don't know, still don't know what caused my explosion before. Could have been oil starvation, could have been fuel loss, could have been whatever, or just old age. I don't know yet. I probably won't ever know, but we can always guess. But a big crucial thing is an Accusump system. So here we have my very first Accusump system, and it is very important, and I'll explain why. Oh damn. I'm so glad I got silver. That looks so sick. And here I have the cable to actually activate the Accusump, like an on and off switch kind of. They have electrical switches, electrical valves that will, you know, open and close the valve electronically, but that's very expensive and I don't want to pay for that right now. I kind of just want to get this in there the cheapest way possible to have a safe engine and high oil pressure. So that's the goal with this, and I'll explain what this is and exactly what it does. Okay, so if you guys are unaware of what Accusump is or what it does, it's pretty much a lifesaver to your motor. And pretty much what it does is when your motor has low oil pressure, it will automatically feed oil back into the engine to keep it from, you know, blowing up pretty much. So pretty much what it does is when the oil pressure gets low, there's a piston here that automatically pushes oil straight to the motor to make sure the engine isn't starving. It's a very cool design, and it's not that expensive, and I recommend it to everybody that drifts or has a high horsepower car that drifts. And you know, anybody in that area. I think this whole thing with the manual valve, with the manual cable, it probably cost me, I think, $350. So it's not that much money to save your $8,000 to $10,000 motor or whatever you have. It doesn't matter. You can save your engine with a very easy solution. So I did go with the Moroso brand first because it's silver. I didn't want blue. I wanted to look nice in the car. I don't like colors like, you know, nice brush look like this. It's also 3 quarts and it's actually cheaper than most of them and does the job just fine. On Adams S15, we run this and it won't be like that anymore because we're going to dry some. But anyway, I know this works well and that's why I got it, and it's very affordable. So like I said before, they do make electronic valves for these things, and they're actually pretty expensive. I might go to that later on, but for now, budget-wise, this manual cable will do just fine. So pretty much you mount this in the back, and then you have clamps that mount the Accusump to wherever you want to mount it. The closer to the engine, the better, because the faster the oil gets there. You can always put it anywhere you want, but like the best part is probably on the front of the car, but I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to mount it behind the seat, so it's kind of subtle, but also visible so I can see the gauge. I'll probably mount this up next to me on my cage so I can get in the car and just, you know, make sure it's open and just go. So that's the budget way to do it, and that's what I'm going to be doing for however long until I get an electronic system. But best bang for your buck, if you're on a budget, is to get a cable system and then the Moroso Accusump. So I'm very excited about this. It puts my mind at ease to know my engine will always have good oil pressure while drifting and not have any catastrophic failures or anything like that ever again, hopefully. But yeah, this build's getting to a whole other level. It's getting to the point where it's going to be very safe, right, and just done right. And that's what I want to do, because like I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to, you know, just push myself and stress myself out to the point where I don't even want to touch the car and just rush and do things, you know, not how I want it. So I'm taking my time with this and making it right. So while we're on that topic, Clutch Stickers series, it is 5 rounds of amazing drifting, amazing competition, and just pure like pro level driving pretty much. I drove it last year. I only drove 3, 4, and 5, but it was the best experience of my life, to be honest, since I've been drifting, even though my car blew up at the last round, but that's okay. This year is here, and now we have a whole new build coming with a brand new engine, and we're gonna go kill it. But unfortunately, we are running out of time, and I do not want to rush this. The engine is still not done. We're waiting on the bottom end still. The top end is done, but you know, to get this kind of build on this level done efficiently, you can't rush it, and I don't want to rush it. It's just too much. It's going to cost too much to do all this and then go straight to the round, and just, you know, I want to get it done. I want to drive it. I want to test it, and then go to Clutch Stickers round 2 and just kind of, you know, just go be prepared and ready to kill pretty much. But so with that being said, I am skipping round 1 of Clutch Stickers, sadly. Sorry guys, but it's the smartest option. My sponsors understand. People agree with me. My girlfriend agrees with me. It's just too much for me, and it's going to be much better in the end for the car, myself, people around me, and the program, really. So yeah, I'm just excited that I was mature, I guess, enough to make the decision to like just stop and just tell myself, hey, you spent a lot of money, you put a lot of time into this, so just stop, take your time and do it right, and just go kill it for 4 rounds. So I'm very cool with that. It's very calming, and I feel like I have a whole bunch of pressure taken off my chest when I say I'm not driving round 1, because it's literally in like exactly a month. Literally exactly a month away, and I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go to round 2, fully ready and prepared, with a fully built 1JZ, with an Accusump, with all the proper parts, when we have already tested, and all that kind of stuff. Alright, but on the bright side, I have a ton of new parts that came in. Very safe parts, important parts, cool parts, small parts, all the above. But I'm very excited to show you guys. So first up is my Accusump clamps. I thought they came with the kit, but they did not. So I had to get those separate. So those are finally here, so we can mount the Accusump in its final position. I bought this little Toyota OEM timing guide. It's a little plate that kind of holds the belt in place. I can't find them anywhere, and one day I was on eBay, looked it up, and they actually have one in stock somewhere. So I guess it's like Elmhurst Toyota, I guess. But that's great to have, brand new one of those. I lost my other one, so I'm glad I got this one. That's another small part I got. Up next is another Toyota part, and it is a brand new OEM 1JZ, 2JZ oil pump. All brand new, nice and silver. This is a stock one. You can get the, I forget who makes it, the ported one. And, you know, it can have, you know, more oil flow, but I just got this one for now. Should be plenty for my application. So on my previous setup, I made about 400 horsepower and 450 foot-pounds of torque. And reason being because I ran out of fuel. I had a smaller fuel pump in there. I maxed out the fuel and we couldn't put down any more power. But now, since we will be putting down more power, I need a bigger fuel pump. So that means we need a Dishworks DW400 fuel pump. This pump will do the job just fine. This can probably push up to like, I'd say 800 horsepower, maybe more. But they're pretty affordable. Definitely recommend it, and it's very easy to install. I'll try and install that sometime this week, maybe not in this video, but I just want to show you guys that is next on the parts list. It's a big jump to make the horsepower climb much bigger than we had before. Alrighty, up next we got some small parts from Vibrant. We got some new Dash 16 hose to replace the burnt Dash 16 hose on the bottom for the low radiator hose. And next up, got some fittings here, which I'll explain in a second. All kinds of good stuff here to add to the collection. Got some new 3-inch aluminum tubing for the new intercore piping, because the new intake manifold, we have to do new piping over here. So Johan told me to get like 2 straights, 2 90s, and 2 45s to, you know, make something happen. So as parts come in, I start to build a whole like list of inventory of parts that I have and what I have to get. And I get on the list and just check off the most important things that I need, by the small things, by the big things, you know, get it so it's here on time, so I'm not waiting for anything. So this is like half of the order I did. I'm still waiting on the rest of the order because some stuff's out of stock and I gotta wait, unfortunately, but it'll come. There's like 5 different distributors of warehouses for Vibrant and stuff like that. So, you know, you gotta wait sometimes and pay extra shipping and all that kind of thing. So, but Dash 16 line to replace some hoses. So these fittings right here are bulkhead fittings. Pretty much what it is you can kind of cut a hole in anything and kind of sandwich it together so it looks clean, nice, and professional. It's pretty much for my Accusump system, from the, you know, back of the car to go down through the car and then straight to the oil pump itself. So I'll explain that later on so you guys understand. And then these are my fittings for my intake manifold for the bottom. I'm going to do Dash 4 AN line for the vacuum hoses. And then I'm waiting on like 1 more hose and 1 more fitting to complete that. And then, yeah, but there's 1 more really big part that I'm super excited to show you guys, and I got very lucky on this. So up next on the parts list is a very important part that I was not expecting on getting, because it's kind of expensive and it was the last thing on the budget right now. And it's kind of dumb to say because it's so important to, you know, it'll help avoid a catastrophe like last time. Not really avoid it, but like, you know, get the fire out safer. So with fire being said, I was very lucky to be blessed by Drift HQ and Duarte for sending me a very important component for the S13, and this actually raises the level of the car. I'll buy a lot safety-wise. Alright guys, they wrapped the whole box in my car with the kitchen on fire, and they literally wrote "no more fires." It's literally like a classic act right here. This is sick. Thank you so much to Drift HQ and Duarte for hooking me up with this. Like, it's a huge blessing, and I'm extremely grateful to have guys like them in the sport. And I have not opened it yet because I've been waiting to film this so I can show you guys this. So I'm kind of anxious to look at it and see what we got. So Duarte from Drift HQ was so nice enough to send me an OMP fire suppression system. This is a huge icing on the cake for the car. That is really heavy. And pretty much what this is the whole system ran by a cable and lines, and you kind of route the lines to most important areas that are likely to catch fire, as in, you know, fuel areas or exhaust areas or fuel tank areas or fuel cell areas, close to you, you know, all most important things. But again, these can be kind of expensive. This is like the best bang for your buck right here. I definitely recommend Drift HQ. They have all the stuff on the website. They're located in Fort Myers, Florida. They have everything from angle kits, coilovers, literally, you know what? Any part you need for drift car, they have it for almost any car, and they're great guys, great people, and I'm so glad to call them my friends. But once again, huge thanks to Drift HQ and Duarte for sending this out to me. This is a big important factor in the car, and go check them out. Drift HQ, great guys. Now let's take this thing apart and see what you got to work with. So it's pretty much a do-it-yourself kit. It literally opens up. You have the line, the fittings, the mounting brackets. So you got fittings here. You got the line right here. Well, no, it's a clamp. Line right here. And then here, more clamps, mounting brackets, the cable to, you know, activate the system right here. Wow, that's freaking sick. Damn, this is super sick, super simple, and I have to get to this thing. This is going to be a lot of work to install all this. Alright guys, so I just want to open this up and see what we're getting into pretty much. I'm not going to do this tonight because it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of, thought and, putting in the right areas and mounting things and running lines, all that kind of thing. So pretty much what this is you have one pure big station mounted somewhere in the car that is triggered by a cable system close to you or one for the external of the car, and lines directed in important areas, like I said before, the engine bay, fuel cell, by your feet, by your passenger's feet, all that kind of stuff to get the fire out and make sure you're safe as possible. When these things go off, it is nasty. It's pretty much exactly what happened before, but I'm doing it by the pull of a cable. And hopefully I never, ever, ever have to use this, ever. And, I'm probably going to install it, I don't even know, maybe behind my seat or something like that. I kind of want to install it behind my seat, and then the Accusump I want to install like right there. But we'll get to that soon. I have a lot to do in a very short period of time. I might upload this video explaining what's up next, and then the next video will be me, getting to it and doing everything. But yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of time, and I still have tons to do before I drive this thing again. But I want to get this whole thing done before the engine gets back, so I can just be, focusing on the engine itself. But I don't know if I'll have this in the next video or if I just do it right now. I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you guys know, obviously, in the video. But I think now, first things first, this thing inside is still really dirty from the whole fire incident thing that went on. And I really gotta get in there with some light and some chemicals and some rags, start cleaning up the areas that I need to clean up so I can, to drill into and to fasten the, the Accusump and the fire suppression system down and so it's ready to go. But maybe I'll do it tonight, maybe next video, I don't know yet. I kind of want to just clean up and just kind of mock up things to where I want to put them. Alright you guys, I'm having a hard time kind of deciding where I'm going to mount these things. So right now I kind of messed around with locations of the Accusump, like kind of over here. Down there wouldn't fit, over here wouldn't fit. Back here I could try and make it fit if I, did some kind of bracket, but that's just too much. I do want the Accusump as close as possible to the engine, but if it's in the back, it's not a big deal. But the closer, the better. But the easiest, most simplest way to mount this thing is pretty much right there. That's a perfect spot. I can, drill in, mount it to the car, run my bolt fitting down right there. I'm gonna line all the way down to the engine itself. So that's what I'm aiming at right now. That's not confirmed, that's not fully decided yet, but that's where I'm at right now. The fire suppression system tank, I'm thinking about putting it right there. I think that's the best spot for it, but again, I don't know. I'm just mocking some stuff up to see what my best options are. So right now that's what I have. I'll probably sleep on it and just kind of think about, what's the best option and whatever. But for now, that's what's gonna be, I think. But I don't know yet. Maybe I'll ask Chris at work and see if what his ideas are. But for now, I think that's the best option right now for me. That doesn't require any welding or major, mounting, fabrication, stuff like that. But the goal is to be able to see it, come over right here, look at the pressure, and then you're good. But worst thing about it is I can't see it myself, so I'll have to have someone tell me, or me myself, get out and make sure it's, at the right pressure and stuff like that. The fire system can be mounted right there, I think, safely. Yeah, let's move on, guys. We have a lot of work to do. Not in a very short amount of time, but still on a schedule to where I want to get this thing done and have it ready for round 2. On that note, I'll probably end this video here. I know it wasn't much of a video, more of me talking and explaining and showing more parts and stuff like that, but that's okay, it happens. But the next video will be a lot more of installing stuff and placing things permanently and making big decisions, and hopefully engine stuff coming very soon. Right now it's a bunch of small stuff that's important to make the car function properly. So you gotta do the small stuff for the big stuff, and in the end it's gonna be amazing. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.